Recording has begun.
All right, so now is the question, knowing all these things from scriptures and experience, how to become the witness in the everyday activities and reality. Now, there is a specific way to do it. It's a very simple method in reality, but doing this will certainly make one depart from the reality of the body. And this is the following. No matter whatever motion the form doesn't matter. Keep the concentration, keep the awareness on the spot between the two eyebrows and focus on the breath. If you do these two things, all the words that come out from your mouth while speaking with somebody, all the actions that will be done by this form will be done in an intuitive way rather than in a rationalistic, over-analyzing way. Because if you just concentrate on the third eye and you just keep the focus on the breath, certainly you will not entangle yourself with the actions and their consequences. Why? Because in the whole time you just put yourself into the place of the witness and just witnessed how the action is done by the form, how it moves. And this is the action of the form. And you just witness every step. It might, take some time to get used to doing this method, but if somebody is dedicated to liberation, certainly one will not mind to take the time for this. So just simply, even in walking, don't look at walking as walking, just simply take the consciousness to the third eye and concentrate on the breath and just simply walk around in this fashion. Then there are no thoughts of doing this or not doing that, because there you don't care. Simply there is no difference for you what happens and what are the consequences, because the throne of intuition is indeed in the third eye. So therefore all your actions are going to be through intuitive experience. All the words that you say will come out of intuition, simply. So you don't have to care if, did I say it right or not, because intuition knows what to say and when what to do. And only the rational mind thinks that it has to analyze things in order to know it, but that's not true, because intuitive experiences go beyond time and space. This is how, for example, two twins can feel each other's emotions, for example, even if they are on two different sides of the planet, because intuitive experience is immediate. It doesn't require travel, because it's a connection which is not distance based. So just doing this, one destroys the entanglements with the actions and their consequences and the rest, and one will be silent and still whatever might happen around, because one is well with everything, because for one there is neither everything nor nothing, because again these thoughts arise in the frame of duality. In reality the experience shows what is the self, and there is no need for rational understanding. It is just letting it happen. So just simply concentrating as such, one surely goes beyond the actions around and the works of Maya, and this is how one becomes the masterpiece of the divine. Because when thoughts happen, there might be the illusion, But if there are no thoughts, there's only the divine that coordinates everything. And this is why we say that, and it has been said authoritatively, that the divine works through the people who are in tune with the divine. There are all kinds of people running around on the planet and saying that, oh, God has shown me that in several weeks, the day of judgment will be here and we all will be condemned. And everybody comes saying that they know and they have seen, but the main thing that happens is that there are thought forms that have been deeply seeded, and now they just come out like random, like all of the sudden, and then they say all these things that, oh, God has shown this and that. And to give a very simple example, a lot of rabbis in the time of Jesus have said that, oh, they have seen how Jesus should be crucified, and this is why how they justified their actions. The same way many things have been said afterwards in the name of the Father and in other names, doing these things, and in reality, the divine works only through the ones who are deeply devoted, not necessarily fully enlightened, but those who deeply devote themselves to the divine, to understand the divine opens up to these. And it might be that there are very few people who truly want this. If somebody is truly devoted and has pure intents, certainly the divine will coordinate through that person, to that being, because it's no longer the mind that prevails, no longer Maya prevails, rather the pureness, the purity of that being that draws oneself closer and closer to the divine, and therefore their actions are coordinated by the divine, and it happens through intuitive experience. This is how one can go in everyday activity and even forget about time and action. Time will just flow like a river quickly when one doesn't observe time as a passing thing, rather than time being sucked up into eternity, and there is just eternity there, and one therefore doesn't care about the actions because there's no action to be cared about. And that's how one can go practically in day-to-day activities.